for the Bills and their fans, it goes down as the greatest comeback in NFL history. For the Houston Oilers, it's the greatest choke job. With starters Kelly, Bennett, and Jackson out, with Thurman Thomas sidelined with a hip injury, the Bills give a priceless memory to themselves and fans in winning the wildest of wildcard games. At 1:41 into the third quarter, the Bills are getting beat 35-3, but they are not beaten. A 50-yard drive ends with Kenneth Davis going in from 1 yard out. It's 35-10. Following an onside kick recovery, Frank Reich goes to the air, connects with Don Beebe for 38 yards. He goes in for the touchdown, make it 35-17. With the defense doing their part, enter Andre Reed, 26 yards. He's got it for the touchdown. It's 35-24. Following an interception, it's the Reich to Reed connection again, 35-31. The 28 points in the third quarter would set an NFL postseason record. It would be 38-38 in overtime until Steve Christie hits for the game winner.
From being down, 35-3, and Frank getting us back in the saddle, and to be even in the opportunity to have the opportunity to go out and kick it. I mean,
halftime, it's here you are down 28 or 20, whatever it was, 25-3. It was substantial, and then come out the second half, and there's an interception, and it's even worse.
Oh, it was terrible. Darryl Talley was running up and down the locker room saying, "Come on, guys, it's not over, it's not over." And we're kind of looking around, going, "Who's he talking to?"
Yeah.
This guy's crazy. And like
a lot of character, and for us to be getting that butt beat in our own backyard doesn't make any sense, and for us to play like we did the first half. I mean, it was like they were just running through us like we were a sieve. And Walt told us at halftime that, "Good, Mr. Wilson. Hey, 60 minutes, baby." Told him that's what it takes, 60.
The second half, unfortunately, began where it left off for the Bills in the first half.
And incomplete, and intercepted and taken away by the Oilers. Down the left sideline goes Bubba McDowell, and McDowell runs into the end zone for the touchdown. The ball went through
Bubba McDowell, a 58-yard return of the Frank Reich interception, and it was 35-3 Oilers. But then the comeback.
Threw a pick, first play out, but the thing is, we never really gave up, and we kept making plays, and we got an onside kick, and things went off from there, and a couple of big receptions, a couple of big passes downfield, and we were back in the game.
Did you get a sense, though, I mean, really, as it was progressing along, that there was a rah-rah guy that was really making it, or was it just a...
It's kind of a feeling that the momentum was definitely changing our way. The question was, do we have enough time to really make up for the deficit? And that was the amazing thing, is that we were able to catch up, and they fumbled a field goal attempt too, and that helped us.
That's right.
That was 3 points there that we really couldn't afford to give up. So that was huge, and that's when you really knew that things were changing, and we had a shot to win it.
And actually, Del Greco got the field goal with 12 seconds left to go into overtime. Was that sort of a deflating thing, saying, "Oh my gosh, we've gone this far, this fast"? And
well, no, I think because we were down by so much at that point, we all realized that, hey, so what? We get in the overtime, that's way better than we were at halftime.
That's right.
This game is still ours. We still have an opportunity. It's, take advantage of whatever we get at this point.
Well, tell me, as you see the picture again, was the adrenaline pumping a little bit more than ever, where, in fact, this field goal would have put you into a position where nobody's ever been before?
I didn't think of that at the time. This was my first playoff game. So basically it was a 32-yarder. That's all it was. I hit those in practice every day, and that's how I looked at it. Hey, this is an opportunity to finish off a great game. I didn't know it was the greatest comeback ever until the next day. And the great thing is that Frank Reich was my holder, so it was neat for me to be on the field with him when it was all said and done, and we got the game over with. And you didn't come down from that game until maybe the next day.
Right.
You just, I got home and, had dinner or whatever, and lay in bed just going, wow, what happened? And then I realized, if all the playoff games are going to be like this, forget it, I'm done. I can't handle all this pressure. It was crazy pressure when you think about it.
Yeah.
Afterwards. I always thought about the pressure after. I never really worried about it during a game.
Right.
And now I think back, and generally speaking, for every Sunday, there's times I look back and I say, well, who was that guy? Right. What happened on Sunday? There's a switch in there, and I think we all have it at that level. There's a sort of an on and off switch, and at 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, it's on.
Right.
Puts it down. The kick is on the way, and it is good. And the Bills have won it. The Bills have won it.
Bills beat the odds and make the biggest comeback win in
Stands out in your memory?
Well, the Houston game again.
Yeah.
There's one game that was we played Denver, and they almost didn't make the flight. They had a big snowstorm out there, and I guess Jason Nealon, the only way he got to the game was his neighbor picked him up in a Hummer and got him to the airport. If his neighbor didn't pick him up, they didn't have a kicker for the game. So I hit a 55-yarder at the end to tie. We ended up losing the game anyway, but I remember that because it was I think that was my hardest kick. That was a tough kick to make.
By the way, do you still have the longest field goal in Super Bowl history?
Yes.
How long was it?
54.
54.
And that was a small concession for in a game that you like that, of that magnitude, that you lose. I mean, it was nice to have.
Next. Say, Steve, we're just not going to keep you anymore. Is that a hard
Well,
call to get?
With the Giants, it was kind of a strange situation because they had signed me the week before the first game. Todd France was a rookie. He was there all off season, went to every workout, and had a very good preseason. So I didn't expect to get a call from them. When I came in there, I had a good workout. They signed me. I was almost on the plane back here, but they signed me, and I ended up staying. And at the end of the season, I think I was 36 or 37 at the time. The big fallback was my kickoffs. The colder I got, the shorter they got. Mind you, I kept reminding them that happens to the 25-year-old guys too, but not as much. I was pretty happy with my field goals, but the kickoffs was what really hurt me. They offered me a one-year deal to come back, and I just wasn't too interested in doing that.
Yeah.
You know.
You have become an artist extraordinaire. When did you pick that up? Was that something all your life?
I worked at that in high school, and then in college I was a studio art and art history major. So, like I was saying before, despite the fact that my family has quite a history in the legal profession, I was the black sheep and went to the art side and the athletic side.
And extremely well, and you've been just a real credit to everything you've done in the community and Camp Good Days and everything else. So,
thank you.
I really appreciate it, Steve.
Well, you're welcome. My pleasure.
I see the large crowd looking for your autograph.
All right.
Thank you.